Had I completed 5 years of that training, I would have been eligible to zero in even further on a subspecialty within that specialty. I could have become a rhinologist, focused solely on the nose, a laryngologist, focused solely on the larynx, an otologist, focused solely on the 3 tiny bones of the inner ear plus the cochlea and eardrum, or a specialist in head and neck cancer, among other options. The primary goal for my career would have been to become better and better at treating a smaller and smaller part of the body. If I were really good at what I did, maybe the medical establishment would even name a disease of a body part after me, as they did for the dean of Stanford Medical School, a world-renowned otologist named Dr. Lloyd B. Minor, who focused his entire career on about 3 square inches of the body. In the condition named after him, Minor's syndrome, microscopic changes in the inner ear bones are thought to lead to various balance and otologic symptoms. Dean Minor represented a physician's ultimate model of success. Stay focused on your specialty and climb the ladder. You also protect yourself that way. For the average clinician, staying in your lane ensures you don't incur liability for incorrectly treating something out of your scope of practice. By my 5th year, I was the chief resident in otology, a subspecialty of head and neck surgery, focusing on those 3 square inches of the body around the ear that control hearing and balance. I frequently saw patients like Sarah, a 36-year-old woman who visited the otology clinic gripped with intractable migraine, with attacks occurring more than 10 times per month. Since dizziness and auditory symptoms can be a feature of this debilitating neurological condition, sufferers often find their way to this specialized department as they make their way through a labyrinth of providers. After a decade of bad migraine episodes, Sarah's world had shrunk dramatically in scope. As she was living on disability and largely housebound, her existence revolved around her condition. She was so light-sensitive that she always wore wraparound sunglasses and walked with a cane due to her inflammatory arthritis. A support dog always stood by her side. Reviewing her 100 pages of faxed medical charts, I discovered she had seen 8 medical specialists in the past year to address a larger cluster of persistent and painful symptoms. A neurologist had prescribed medication for her migraine attacks. A psychiatrist had prescribed a selective serotonin reuptake inhibitor, SSRI, for her depression. A cardiologist had prescribed hypertension medication. A palliative care specialist had prescribed additional remedies for the unremitting pain throughout her joints. Despite all of these interventions and medications, Sarah was still suffering. Carefully paging through the documents, I felt stunned. What could I possibly offer this woman that she had not already tried? As part of my routine migraine intake questions, I asked if she had had any success with trying a migraine elimination diet. She had not heard of it. That surprised me. Printed handouts on that very subject were readily available in our clinics to give to patients like her. But nutritional intervention hadn't registered as important enough for my colleagues to mention. Instead, she had been sent for testing, undergone expensive CT scans, and was prescribed psychoactive and other medications, one on top of the other. She visibly balked when I described the hopeful possibilities of a diet that would eliminate migraine trigger foods. If such a mundane thing as food could have helped her, her body language suggested, the medical professionals would have told her long ago. She wanted to try another medication. Sarah's case was not the first time I had encountered such a scenario. Patients often came in with stubborn cases of chronic disease toting stacks of paperwork. But Sarah was cruelly young for this amount of suffering, and she'd bounced between so many different specialists so quickly that her case made the system failure especially upsetting. She was sick and getting sicker, living with not just one chronic illness, but multiple ones. Unbeknownst to her, but evident to me, her lifespan was almost certainly shortening. She was frustrated with the care she'd received, yet she was still reliant on it, clinging to it even. I tried to hide my discomfort. How could I dole out another prescription without encouraging Sarah to try some simple strategies with significant data to back them up? My stomach churned at the knowledge that another prescription drug would not be the magic bullet that would radically change her life. She and I could go through the charade of engendering hope in a new medication, scheduling a follow-up 6 weeks out to see how it worked, and leaving our meeting feeling satisfied that we'd done the best we could. But at some level, we both knew a medication deficiency was not why Sarah had illness expressed throughout her entire body.